Hey, 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 Tuesday at 2, Circle B Diecast here in Concord, North Carolina. So glad that you have joined us as we are talking racing. Racing season is wide open. Oh, it's going to be awesome, that's for sure. And we are joined, let's see, Victor, Daniel, John. Oh, another John. Thomas is in the house. Oh, the gang is all here. We already got our top 5. Peter comes in 6th. So glad you joined us. It is fantastic. Really, really neat stuff, that's for sure. And everyone rested? Everyone recovered? Everyone good? Anyone watch the truck race? Anyone watch SRX? Anyone do something non-racing over the weekend? Because batten down the hatches, 20 straight weeks of NASCAR racing coming up. 10 to lock in the playoff field and 10 to run for the championship. So it is going to be a good time. And hey, last week, if you tuned in, remember I gave you a little assignment. I said, let's talk about these 10 races going into the playoffs. Nashville, Road America, Atlanta, New Hampshire, Pocono, the road course at Indy, Michigan, Richmond, Watkins Glen, Daytona. What's going to happen? What do y'all think is going to happen with all of this? It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome, that's for sure. I just don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going to happen. So jot it in there. What do you think is going to happen as far as these playoffs? Yeah, John, I got your question about the Clash, and yeah, Norman, I got your question about Road America. We'll get to those. We'll work on those as we go. But I gave an assignment to everybody. I wanted everyone to think about these 10 races coming up to the playoffs and what do we think is going to happen. So that's my pick. We got 3 road courses, Road America, Watkins Glen, and Indy. We've got 2 super speedways. Well, Atlanta is super speedway-ish, and Daytona. 2 short tracks, Richmond and New Hampshire. 2 intermediates, Nashville and Michigan. And 1 tricky triangle, Pocono Raceway. So it is good. All right, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the birthday wishes. 2 days ago, it's over. I'm on my 59th trip around the sun. Green flag was in the air. We're rocking and rolling, and it is good. It is good, that's for sure. So, yeah. So what do we think is going to happen in the playoffs? 10 races. We've got 12 drivers locked in. Well, no, we don't have 12 drivers locked in. We've got 12 drivers with wins. Ross Chastain, William Byron, Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, those are the multi-race winners. Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, Daniel Suarez, Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Alex Bowman, Chase Briscoe, and Austin Cindric all have wins. So who's in? Who's out? Fun stuff, that's for sure. Good stuff, that's for sure. Brandon's going to be at New Hampshire, hoping Martin Truex Jr. can sneak in sometime in the future. Just looking forward to me. Well, Brandon, we're glad you're going back to the racetrack. Glad we're going back to the racetrack. And MTJ is another one of those drivers. Martin Truex Jr., 14th in points right now. He's 65 points to the good, but we don't know what to the good is. Because if someone behind the good wins a race, then the good moves. And we're going to see. So glad you guys are going to New Hampshire. Love going up to Loudon, New Hampshire. It's a great, great track. And I know you're going to have a good time. That's for sure. It is going to be good. Martin Truex Jr., a lot of laps around there going back to his old Busch North days and Busch East days and K&N East days. So fun stuff. So it is going to be interesting to see what happens with it. Ryan Blaney, Martin Truex Jr., Christopher Bell, and Eric Almirola, as it sits today, are in. Kevin Harvick, Tyler Reddick, Austin Dillon, Eric Jones, Michael McDowell, Chris Buescher, Justin Haley, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Bubba Wallace in the top 5 on the outside looking in. Not even a mention in the top 25 of Brad Keselowski. Of course, he had a big points penalty, but Brad Keselowski not in. Does he get in? That's what I'd like to know. What do you think? Who's in, who's out? That's for sure, and we will see what happens. So, let's see. I will be at New Hampshire. I think there's a lot more. Peter thinks there will be more first-time winners. Okay, who's in that list? I can buy 1 or 2 of them. Let's see. First-time winners. Tyler Reddick. I think Tyler Reddick could be a first-time winner. He's been awful close. Well, I don't know. Justin Haley, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'm with you, Peter, on first-time winners. But where I think I fall is guys that don't traditionally win regularly getting wins. See, when I look at this, Blaney, Truex, Bell, Almirola, Harvick, Reddick, Dillon, Jones, McDowell, Buescher, Haley, Stenhouse, Wallace. Only Haley and Reddick are non-winners. So I can see a first-time winner with Tyler Reddick. What I really can see, though, is maybe an Eric Jones getting a win, or a Ricky Stenhouse Jr. getting a win, or a Michael McDowell getting a win. I think or a Chris Buescher getting a win. Here's where I'm at with this. Okay, Brandon, I think Daytona is Brad's best shot for sure. I agree with you on that. But Brad Keselowski, maybe Atlanta, maybe Daytona. Brad Keselowski. Brandon, I'm with you on that. That's that. See, Brandon, that's what I was looking for with this. Not happy birthday, postman. I was looking for, what do you think is going on? I like that we're talking a little bit of Tyler Reddick. See, this is where it gets interesting to me. 3 road courses and 2 super speedway type tracks. Okay? Let's look at Michael McDowell. Pretty good on all of those. Let's look at Chris Buescher. Pretty good on all of those. Finished second out at Sonoma. So I think that when you look at it, Brad Keselowski, good on road courses, great on super speedways. To your point, to everyone's point, Brad winning Daytona, Brad getting in. They won the Clash down there. Both him and Chris won the Clash. They're awful good. So there's 5 races where you take Brad Keselowski, you take Chris Buescher, you take Michael McDowell, very, very good on those racetracks that are not, Keselowski's a champion, but you look at Buescher and McDowell, maybe they can sneak up and get a win, okay? We marveled a month ago at Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Now, that was on intermediate tracks. He finished second at Dover. We're going to Nashville, concrete, 1.3-mile racetrack, intermediate track. Does a Ricky Stenhouse... See, I think what the thing is I think we have an interesting dynamic here. I think we've got the guys like Blaney and Truex who are pointing their way pretty good, but we've had 4 first-time winners. We agree we could have another one, maybe Tyler Reddick, but we also have these guys like McDowell, Buescher, Stenhouse that may jump up there and get a win. You can make arguments for them. Well, then what about Blaney, Truex getting wins? What about Christopher Bell getting a win? What about Eric Almirola or Kevin Harvick getting a win? Ay. Well, that's 9 fingers. We've already got 12 drivers with wins. 12 plus 9, 21. I don't think we're going to get 21 winners, but I think you could make a case for 21 different drivers to win. We're not going to get 21 winners, but I think that any one of those scenarios could happen, and we need not be surprised. Yeah. Debbie brings up a good point. Brad wins a race and is still out there 17 winners. Yeah, Brad, point-wise, would be in bad shape on that one. Yeah, that's a good point. We live in this world. Where we think you win and you're in, and that's how it's always been. Is that the case now? You win or you win. Right now, I think Chase Elliott is the regular season point leader. I think Blaney's not far from him on the points. Blaney doesn't have a win. What if Blaney wins the regular season point title without a win? Then he gets one of the spots, and we go with 15 winners. You know, it's just, there's a whole lot of, I think that's the fun part about this. And I think where, Chase Elliott, let's see, we got it here. Blaney is, he's 25 points behind Chase Elliott. He's lost a little bit of luster there. Because you got Chase Elliott, Ross Chastain, and Kyle Busch. They're all winners. Blaney, Joey, Martin Truex Jr., but he's 55 points back on the points. So maybe we have a regular season point champion who has a win. If Blaney can step up his game, maybe he gets up there. Well, then we're down to 15. See? And I think that's kind of the beauty of what NASCAR did. We talked about, Eric Almirola is 7 points above the cut. Kevin Harvick is 7 points below the cut. That's the cut line today. The cut line next week is going to be different, whether we get another winner. Woo! Man, are you kidding me? We're in for some good times, that's for sure. My top 5, okay, Matthew, I understand. You and I are on the same page. We love sprint cars, okay? Right now, we're talking NASCAR. Okay. Brandon, definitely could see Reddick, good shot win, but there's much more that could happen. Brandon, or no, is that Brendan? Brendan, rain shortened races. How about that? Fuel strategy races. That's never happened at Michigan, except about every other race. I like the way you're thinking, Brendan. I love the way you're thinking. See, it's the wild, wild west. Oh my gosh, it's going to be crazy. It really, truly is. So there. So that's cool. What else? Chase. Norman says Chase is winning the points. Okay, exactly. Victor says maybe Harvick can sneak into Michigan before the playoffs start. Exactly. Here's the thing. Yeah, Matthew, a rain race at Road America. I see, Matthew, welcome aboard. Appreciate it. Yeah, a rain race at Road America. That's where Matthew's from. He's up there in Wisconsin. A rain race at Road America. What happens there? Does Chris Buescher figure out how to drive in the rain? Where does AJ Allmendinger, because he's not running for Cup Series points, man, I'll tell you what. The bottom line with this is, and we'll get to those other questions and other thoughts. The bottom line is that we are in for a fascinating 10 weeks. Batten down the hatches. Nashville, Road America, Atlanta, New Hampshire, Pocono, Indy Road Course, Michigan, Richmond, Watkins Glen, Daytona, 3 road courses, 2 super speedways, 2 short tracks, 2 intermediates, one of them concrete, and 1 tricky triangle. Man. Folks, I don't know about you, but I'm going to be dialed in. I'll be at most of the races with MRN. Those that I won't be at, I'll be dialed in, that's for sure. Love it. Love that we have a chance to have this conversation and visit here a little bit. Absolutely. Good times, that's for sure. So, okay. So we had some other non-playoff conversation as well. Back up toward the top, somebody asked about the Coliseum right off the bat. It was right at the top of the show. Yeah, John says, what do you think about going back to the Coliseum? What's your opinion on possible street race in Chicago? I love, John, that we're going back to the Coliseum. I love this, and I'm going to tie into Norman's answer for your second part of it, okay, or Norman's question for your second part of it, okay? I love the Coliseum. I think I would have been shocked if we didn't go back there because I think it was a home run, and I think it was great. Now, a home run week, round number 2, you got to work harder to get it in the second time. But I really liked what they did. I love the idea, John, of a street race in Chicago. And if speculation is that street race from Chicago comes at the expense of Road America, I hate the idea because I love Road America. So Norman, that gets to your question. Do you think that maybe getting rid of Road America? I hope not. I hope not. I think we've landed really, really good with our July 4th weekend. At a racetrack, by the way, on July 4th weekend called Road America, on the birthday of America. I think we've got that. And so, Norman, I will be very disappointed if we go away from Road America. I no longer know what to expect. So I'm saying I personally would be very disappointed if we went away from Road America. I have no say in it, and they will do what they're going to do. And thus far, as of 2/14, on this day, June, what is today, 21st, on 2022, the year of our Lord, they have never called me. So we're all in it together. I would hate to lose Road America. I would absolutely hate to lose Road America. All right, Clifford. I have a hunch you're trolling me here. How was the mud at Knoxville? Was it slippery when wet? Cole, how slick was the dirt at Knoxville when wet? Okay, those of you not familiar. Some of you might have listened to Wing Nation earlier and heard the story. I turned 58 years old on Sunday. So on the final day of my 58th trip around the sun, a trip, 58 years of going to dirt tracks, 58 years of walking around dirt tracks. On the last day of my 58th trip around the sun, with dirt tracks all part of my life, I'm walking in turn number 2 at Knoxville. And whoop, feet go one way, ass and back go the other way. The feet went up, the ass and the back went down. So Clifford and Cole, you're laughing, and you got your laughing emojis. Get it all over yourself, laugh it up. So I rolled it on the dirt track out at Knoxville. You're not the only ones laughing. Once I got cleaned up and up on my feet and standing in the upright, I was kind of snickering too. But I was a muddy mess. From the back of my legs all the way to my shoulders, complete black mud. Had a little bit of my hair, arm, because I had to tip over, roll myself. I was a little bit like a turtle. I've lost some weight, but not that much weight, to get back over. Hands, mud. My buddy John McCoy, who's the general manager out there, whooshed me up on a golf cart, took me to a little locker room area where I was able to get cleaned up. I did get a free Knoxville Raceway shirt out of the deal. Yeah, I wore a Knoxville shirt. So, boys, laugh it up. Laugh it up. Have fun at my expense. The Knoxville clay is slippery when wet. I got a free shirt out of the deal. I'm winning. Woo, yeah. I really do. I appreciate it. I told the story on Wing Nation. It is what it is. Fun stuff, that's for sure. Chip says SRX put on a heck of a show Saturday night. Yeah, how about Helio Castroneves getting the win? I don't know that we saw that one coming. Here's what I love about SRX on Saturday night, is that a large portion of America got familiar with a guy named Bubba Pollard. Redneck Jesus, as he's known. Yeah, Redneck Jesus. You know you're good when your nickname is Redneck Jesus. Bubba Pollard is one of the greatest short track racers in America, and a very fine man, too. A great guy. I've talked to him a few times. He's a wonderful guy. And SRX, I love what they do in that they invite a local racer to be part of it. Bubba Pollard was part of it. And from everything I heard, I did not watch because I was doing the truck race in Knoxville. I did not watch it, and I don't own a TV. Bubba was the man putting on a show. And so if you were not familiar with Bubba Pollard before Saturday night, you are now familiar with Bubba Pollard. And here's what I would suggest. If you hear Bubba Pollard's coming to a short track near you, you need to make sure you get there. You go meet the man. You buy a T-shirt. You get an autograph. And you, like everybody else, will be a huge fan of Redneck Jesus, Bubba Pollard. He is a great guy, and I love that part about SRX. That is my favorite part, as a matter of fact, about SRX. They're at South Boston. There's a guy you're going to get introduced to by the name of Peyton Sellers. This is a multi-time NASCAR regional and weekly national champion. That cat can flat out drive a race car, and he very well might school everybody at South Boston this Saturday night. And I love the fact that guys like Bubba Pollard, like Peyton Sellers, last year Doug Colby won the race up at Stafford. I love what SRX does. So, and I'm glad you enjoyed the race. This Saturday night, they're at one of my favorite places, South Boston Speedway. I am going to hear about this, and I'm going to wish I was dining on a bologna burger. Oh my gosh, great stuff, that's for sure. What else we got here? What impressed you most? Oh, Thomas. What impressed you most about Carson Hocevar so far? Everything. He needs to get a little bit better at closing the deal. But man, I am telling you, that is a future rock star. I think his talent, his skill set, his level of racing is good. I think he needs to figure out how to winning races is an art. You know, we rave about the closer, Kevin Harvick. We rave about guys that are able to close the deal, and it's a skill that you have to learn. That some is acquired, some you have to learn. Carson Hocevar has to figure that out. Here's the good news: he will. Here's the bad news for everybody else. When he does, woo, man, that kid is good. He is really, really good. Fun guy. I actually, I'm glad you asked about him. It's been an interesting scenario. He's always fun on pit road, so we always joke. We always have a good time. We always laugh and yuck it up. But he had the injury at Gateway. Last Wednesday, 2 weeks ago from tomorrow, I flew to Berlin, Michigan. He and his mom were on the flight with me, and I actually she was wheeling him in a wheelchair, and I actually helped him carry some bags and walk through the airport and had a good visit with Carson. Had a really good visit with him at Knoxville on Saturday night. I really like the kid. I really like the kid a lot. So Thomas, I jokingly said everything. I'm struggling to find anything that I don't like about him. His ability to close is a skill set that he will learn. And folks, I think Carson Hocevar, here's what I'm going to tell you to do, okay? Carson Hocevar will win a Truck Series race. Because of that, his first race, we will likely make it available on Circle B Diecast. Buy it, because you're probably on the start of something really, really special, and it'd be really cool when this cat gets done, possibly even gets inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame. That's how good I think he is, and I know that's a long stretch. I understand that's a stretch. But if the kid keeps doing what he's doing and gets to Cup and keeps doing what he's doing and wins races, then that will not be a stretch. You could get every one of his race-winning diecast when he wins that first one. That's how big I think this kid can be. I just think that he is going to be. I just think that he is going to be awesome. He is going to get awesome. So there you go. Yes, Brandon, is there any validity to the rumor that NASCAR may be tweaking the cars a little bit? Corey mentioned it a couple of weeks ago on his podcast. Yeah, Stacking Pennies is Corey LaJoie's great podcast. Him and Skip Flores, they do a great job with that. And there is truth to that rumor. My dates are not 100% clear. I think there is a test coming up at Martinsville with a variety of different packages. So there's no tweaks yet, but they are trying some things, Brendan, to possibly tweak the cars when it comes to short track. So stay tuned. We'll see what happens. Michael says, what do you enjoy most about working with MRN? I talk about racing for a living. I don't mean to be a wise ass here. What do you do? You know, and that sounds very wise ass, but it's just true. I am the luckiest man on the planet because very few people get to talk about racing for a living. So that's what I love most about it. I love travel. I love everything else. What made you choose MRN? They said yes. They said, you want an audition? They chose me. I am my MRN career. This is the 19th year or 20th year. I forget. I've got it written down somewhere. It's 20th year. This is my 20th. I think so. 19th. Let me see. It was 2013 race. So this is the 19th year, 20th year, 19th year. Next year will be 20. Yeah, next year will be 20. I can tell you, Michael, that I've enjoyed this year as much, if not more, than any other year. And so I hope they keep me around for another year or two. My contract says I'm good through next year. So stay tuned. But I chose, what made me choose MRN, they would have me. That's what made me choose MRN. And they haven't shushed me out the door yet. And I'll be sad the day that they do. It will happen because it happens to everybody. Every job comes to an end. But what I love about it the most, I love my coworkers. I love the people I work for. I love the travel. But most important, Michael, I love talking about racing and some fool paying me to do it. I'm blessed. I really, truly am. Let's see. Yes, Clifford, I am okay. I'm fine. Mickey says, I've seen many great men fall at wet dirt tracks. Well, you heard about me doing it as well. Matthew, World of Outlaws up at one of his home tracks up at Beaver Dam. It was all Sheldon Hodenshield, number 17. Sheldon picked up the win. I'm going World of Outlaws sprint car racing this weekend. I cannot wait. I'm Thursday flying out to Huset's. Going to be there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We're going to do live Wing Nation shows from Huset's. The High Bank Nationals, baby, on Saturday night. $100,000 to win a World of Outlaws sprint car race. So I will see your number 17 or the number 17 that won both nights at Beaver Dam last year, along with all of my favorite sprint car drivers. So it's going to be great, that's for sure. AJ, talking Knoxville, did anyone from MRN notice the 62 truck flip? Our turn guy did not catch it. I had heard conversation on the radio about it, AJ. I had heard conversation on the radio about it, and I looked at it, and I didn't see, I did a quick glance at the truck, and I'm like, it doesn't look like it, and I discounted it. I wish I wouldn't have. I wish I'd I don't know what I could have done. I can't recreate it. Go out there and tell Jessica to flip again. So we missed it as well, AJ. So, yeah. And a lot's been made. A lot happens. A lot happened at Knoxville. That was a wild, wild race, and it was a good race. It was a great race with Todd Gilliland getting the win. So there you have it. Wow, look at that. 25 minutes have passed. We got through it all. I didn't have to scold too many people, other than my friend Matthew, who wanted to talk sprint car racing when we're talking NASCAR. It's all right. I like to talk sprint car racing when we're talking NASCAR also. So it's good. But I love the conversation. I love all of the dialogue we have here on the show on our Tuesdays. I love that we had a chance to set up the next 10 races for NASCAR. It's going to be fun. Music City, USA, baby. The Ally 400 for the NASCAR Cup Series. Truck and Xfinity are there. It is going to be a great, great weekend of racing in Nashville. If you're going out there, stay hydrated. Stay hydrated anywhere. We just came off from 2 really, really good non-humidity days in Charlotte. I wanted to strip down and run around naked. That's how good it was. You thought the visual of me falling in the mud was bad. Ha ha! I took that right out of your mind and put another visual there for you. So it is good. We've had really good weather. The humidity is going to go up, but if you're going to Nashville, stay hydrated. Find some shade, find some stuff to take care of yourself because it's going to be really hot. Summertime in Nashville, Tennessee. It's going to be good. Nashville kicks it off, and it's going to be a great, great time. That's for sure. The Ally 400. Hope you tune in. NBC taking over the TV. We'd love to have you tune in to MRN as well on the radio side. So with that, we're going to roll on out of here. Does Jonathan have a show today? Oh, Jonathan's in Missouri. Whoa, man. Jonathan's out there hobnobbing with the boss man. Out there hobnobbing with the boss man. Can't be here with us working folks. He's hobnobbing with the boss man. So just keep an eye on our social channels when Jonathan is wheeling and dealing. You know what happens? He goes out there and he hobnobs with the boss man. He twists the boss man's arm, and the boss man takes another 5 or 10% off from everything, and then Jonathan comes back and just blows her right out the back door. That's what happens. So, yeah, that's what's happening. So good stuff. Keep an eye on our social channels when Jonathan's doing his next auctions. He is doing a really good job with it, and it's been a lot of fun, that's for sure. And we're having fun here on our Tuesday and 2 visit. So we appreciate all the questions, all the feedback, all the chit-chat, all the chatter. Great, great stuff. Get out to a racetrack this weekend. If you're not going to Nashville, dial up your local short track. Get out there. I want to hear about it. I want to see you. I want to see you out at a racetrack. I want to find out that you went to a local short track and fell in love with a racer like a Bubba Pollard or a Peyton Sellers or one of your local heroes. I'm Steve Post, the Postman from Motor Racing Network. Remember, all your diecast needs are available at www.circlebdiecast.com. Thanks for joining us this week with our Tuesday at 2 visit.